Hey, it's James at the Net News Ledger studio. We're here with Ontario Regional Chief Isadore Day, who's in Thunder Bay this weekend, headed off on the Powwow Trail.
I am. Good morning, James.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm in Thunder Bay on my way to Treaty 3. It's always good to go to Treaty 3. Chief Henderson's community near Fort Frances, Ontario will be there in a few hours, and I'll be in that sacred circle again, doing what I like to do, dance.
You gave an inspiring speech to OSCE graduates on Friday here in Thunder Bay. What's the message for youth and education? How important is education for the future?
Well, education is key. It's probably the most important tool in this day and age, and it's always been since the beginning of time. Our form of education, I think, is really a message that I'd like to convey. As Indigenous people, you know, we gravitate towards, you know, what's needed most right now is a formal education, but we know that underneath all of that is who we are as Indigenous people, and, you know, right in the community with the elders, the language, the land, that part of education and life experience is really key to who we are.
Moving forward, this week, youth from Attawapiskat are going to be meeting with leaders and young people from the community. What is this saying to you as we move forward?
Well, first of all, I want to take a moment here to commend Anishinaabe Nation leadership, Grand Chief Fiddler, Anna Betty, Derek, the Deputy Grand Chiefs. I want to commend them, as well as Chief Shashish from Attawapiskat and Grand Chief Jonathan Sullivan, and thank them for their leadership and then their continued support to the young people. On the meeting with the Prime Minister, we couldn't have had this meeting any sooner. Certainly we have an opportunity in front of us, and the young people have been waiting long enough for this meeting, and I'm so glad that they're finally being given the opportunity and the audience of the Prime Minister, because they've got some serious issues that they want to place before the Prime Minister and essentially Canada.
The youth in the North seem to be more resilient than anybody could have ever imagined. What message can you share for youth, and how can their message go forward out to Canadians?
Well, I think, you know, when we take the time to listen to the youth, we've all been young before, and we all know the struggles. But in this day and age, the struggles seem to be so much more, and the fact that this country has ignored First Nation people for this long, and the issues have seemed to have gotten worse because of technology and, you know, economy and environmental issues. The young people today, despite all of that, they have a strength, they have a resiliency, and what I often talk about is the vision of the young people. You know, it's been said that our young people are the leaders of tomorrow, but they certainly are proving that they're leaders today in our communities. And oftentimes when we have really deep issues and challenges and struggles in our First Nation communities, you'll see the youth come up and they'll say, listen, we've got to go forward. And essentially that strength and resiliency in the community and relying on our young people is becoming more and more apparent as the solutions. And with respect to the North, we have to commend our young people for taking the leadership and saying, listen, we've got to speak to the rest of Canada, we've got to speak to other governments. And what Attawapiskat Youth are doing today, I thank you for that, because it's going to help the rest of Ontario First Nation youth and youth across this country. You are leaders, and I thank you for that.
Chief Day, thanks for taking the time here in Thunder Bay. I'm James in the Net News Ledger studio.
You got you.